So this is the Rock Run Crossings development at the northeast corner of I-55 and I-80. Just over 300-acre development, primarily commercial. We do have some residential aspects, office that's involved with this development as well. But the key consideration here is prior to moving forward with the plan here, the discussion has been moving some of the trees that were on site from a previous nursery that was here. So moving them from the center part of the site itself and moving them across the site really to allow for buffering on the north, maybe some other areas within the site itself to add some character to the area, some buffering as well as other environmental aspects to it. So generally the trees currently are located in the older nursery here in this particular area. They're being moved, and for most of the filming, on our northern site, which is along this area. We do have identified a farm field here, future residential. So we've worked with the adjacent property owner on a berm in this area and are doing the primary planting along that berm. So our boundaries generally for the development of Rock Run Crossing, this would be our northern boundary, western boundary wrapping along 55, southern along 80, and then our eastern boundary along the Rock Run Crossing Creek.
Well, I'm Chris West with Cullinan Properties. We're here on our site at Rock Run Crossings at I-55 and I-80, a 300-acre mixed-use development. When we acquired the site, there was an existing former tree nursery on the site, and to help be conscientious to the environment, as well as create some amenities for the on-site development, and to help buffer some of the adjacent properties where we have single-family homes and a separate gas pipeline facility. We're in the process of moving over 400 trees overall on the site that were here previously. About 220 have either been relocated or in the process of being relocated right now. We're standing in front of one of the trees, a Black Hills spruce, that's going to be excavated here and transplanted to a berm, 1,000 linear foot berm that we created at the north edge of the property. Some of the initial benefits that are being created by transplanting the trees is to, again, help with nature, but also help our adjacent property owners, single-family residential property owners, with reducing light pollution, noise pollution from the nearby I-55 site, highway traffic, but also a great amenity. We have a multifamily component that's part of the mixed-use development. We're going to have over 400 apartment units on the site in the northeast quadrant of the site. This tree line will help create some privacy for the multifamily apartments and also create some immediate maturity to the site. These trees were planted well over 20, 30 years ago, and so very established, and create some maturity and definition to the site right from the get-go. I'll turn it over to Rick Gomez with Instant Shade, who's our vendor on the site, who's in the process of transplanting the trees to our new berm location.
Good morning, I'm Rick from Instant Shade. We're going to start digging this tree. The machine already is backed up to the tree. It opens up like a clam. It's a 90-inch tree spade machine. It picks up around anywhere from 13 to 14,000 pound root ball, depending on how wet it is, and it's wet this spring here. We're going to start digging with it and hopefully we can get it out because it's kind of rocky in here. Certain areas are. And then we'll plant it a couple thousand feet from here. The hole already has been previously opened, and once you get to the other side, you'll see as we put the tree in the ground. So he's going to start digging about right now. And it's one blade at a time. They jab in and out simultaneously, watering at the same time to get into the ground. And then we pick it up, and the machine pretty much does the whole thing. You know, digs the hole, plants the tree with very minimum labor force. Once we get over there, you'll see on the other side they're injecting the trees. They're deep root feeding the trees right now. Once the tree is planted, then we will clean the tree underneath, fix the dirt, and then they will mulch them and untie them. They were already, if you could see around here, you'll see the trees are all tied up, and that's a different machine that does that. So here we go. Rock over there. I got a huge rock. The first
How long is that going to take then? About 5 minutes.
At most.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sounds good. Do that. Yeah, yeah. Where should I stand so I'm not blocking? Where should I stand so I'm not blocking? So where the trees are currently located are part of, again, of the 300-acre mixed-use development where we'll be having commercial, restaurants, retail, hotel, entertainment, and then the multifamily development. We've been working around the existing site work. We currently have underground utilities, new detention basin constructed, some initial mass grading and earthwork, and so we've been working around the trees to preserve them as we work along and strategically locating them in positions that will not be harmed with the new development. Where the trees are being located as well, we'll engage the detention pond area where we'll have some walking trails and connect with the new Olympic Boulevard Bridge, which will have pedestrian and bike pathways across the Rock Run Creek and onto the site and through the site, connected with the new diverging diamond interchange here at Sile Road, County Farm Road, Illinois Route 59 and I-55. We worked early on with the City of Joliet and City Arborist Jim Tiber to establish the process for inventorying the trees on the site, identifying the high quality nature of the trees versus the trees that were not either acceptable to relocate due to size or quality, and at that point cleared out the scrub or the non-quality trees to go ahead and leave the high quality trees in place for us to go ahead and relocate as we went through the process. as part of our initial phase, first we did 180 trees as our initial phase. We're now in the process of doing 40 additional trees for a total of 220 trees for the initial work here in 21 and 22. We still have another 200 plus trees that we're looking to still relocate, but we'll be preserving them in place until we relocate them as they fit around in and around the site to best match up with the overall master site plan. Once the trees are transplanted over to the new berm location on the site, then they're properly fertilized, watered on an ongoing basis. Prior to moving, we've netted the branches up so that they're not damaged during the transplant process, brought over to the new location, and then they'll be staked to keep them in an upright position, and again fertilized and watered, and then the branches will be allowed to fall down, and then we'll mulch at the base of the trees in their new home location. And right now we're in the southern portion of the site, of the 300-acre site, where the trees are being located are the north boundaries of the site. And again, as we buffer our adjacent neighbors, both the single-family homes and the Kinder Morgan natural gas pipeline facility.
Now, if he's able to take that time lapse,
Yeah, last year it seemed like he barely was out.
We can also provide some aerial photos stuff too, before and after.
yeah, that would be awesome. I didn't know if the time lapse was, because I mean that's a lot of.
Yeah, it's great to see.
I mean, how long has that thing been running?
When we installed the webcam.
Is he wanting this time? All right, I'm here today at Cullinan Properties with Chris, and we're here to look at some of the trees that are being relocated, moved around. Could you give me a little background, a little details on how the process started, why we're doing this, why are you taking trees from a location not too far away on your property and now relocating them maybe a few hundred yards away from where they originated from an old nursery?
Thanks, Jim. Now, when we first acquired the property, we noticed the great asset that was here on the property with the number of trees that were here. It's unique to have a former tree nursery on a property that you acquire, in addition to the former homes that were here. So we immediately started working with the city of Joliet as a partner in the project to identify how we could salvage the trees, reuse them. The quality of the trees was tremendous, and to have that amenity immediately on the site to establish a mature tree environment to help again with the different, reducing the noise pollution, the light pollution. It just created a great amenity for the project. Where we're standing right now is at the northern end of the property, getting ready to set again one of the trees on this 1,000-foot linear foot berm that we created. We work with our joint neighbor to create this raised berm, and we're now at about the 200th tree that we've located on this berm. It also frames and turns and goes south where adjacent single-family homes. And what they're doing now is transplanting a tree that was at the south end of the site here, the north end of the site. And then after that, they'll go ahead and inject the trees, fertilize them, and spread the mulch as well. But now it's important working with the city to keep the trees. Again, great asset to the property, and more than anything, it's environmentally sensitive to our earth and to the planet. So.
Yeah, Chris, originally, I mean, we first started, I think maybe it was 6 years ago out here. We walked through the whole nursery, specifically picked out the variety of trees that we felt that would be best for your situation and the ones that were healthy and that were going to survive. We weeded out all the other ones that were structurally unsafe or not sound. Those are the trees that were removed, and then we kept everything that was going to be, we felt that were going to be replantable and be able to be used down in the future, which I think is a great thing. It's the first time in 27 years of city arbors for the city of Joliet I've seen it done. We're hoping that future developments kind of take you guys as a lead and do the same thing. I think it's great to reuse something, especially when it's on the property by, so you don't have to go out and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy in trees and replant them, which would have even have been maybe a quarter of the size. So it's really neat to see this buffer, and it's an instant buffer. Just walking in here, I think I've maybe seen one tree that maybe might have not have made it. So one tree out of, you think you said 200? It's pretty good odds. So it's the city's thankful. The residents, will be thankful. It's a great thing. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
So I think that's about a 20-year-old tree that we just popped out of one spot and moved it, 500 yards, maybe 600 yards, down to its new home, new location. So it's nice to see the instant buffer, and it means a lot to be able to recycle, reuse these trees, and not just cut them down and mulch them up. So it's a nice thing, and it's appreciated by the city of Joliet. So again, I thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Chris.
it.
Yep.
We've enjoyed the process, and no, we look forward to doing this on other projects. Again, very unique that we have a tree nursery farm here on the site, but once it's here, it's definitely took advantage of the opportunity to do that, and no, it's been a great addition to it, and great neighbors to work with, and a great city partnership.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
That's it.
He's going to dig the next plug, next hole,
for
so
the
then
next
so that way he'll take that dirt and then fill the plug that he had at the other location, the hole at the other location.
And you can hold on that dirt
Yep,
in there?
exactly. It
Great.
holds in the spade. Yeah, so then what it'll do, so that way we don't trip and fall over there. What Instant Shade is now doing is going ahead and digging the hole for the next tree to be transferred over to this location. So they'll go ahead and dig the hole, create the space for it, take the earth that's dug out here, and fill back the plug from the tree that was just relocated, that was just transplanted over to this new berm location. So it's a back and forth process, again, reusing the earth, the dirt, as well as transplanting the trees. And again, we're close to the west end, the west tip of our 1,000 linear foot berm. The berm is about 40 foot wide by the 1,000 linear foot in length. And again, about 200 trees so far have been transplanted down this stretch, and with another 20 to 40 to still be planted, both here in this line and then on the north side of the berm as well. And then the remaining approximately 200 trees will be relocated elsewhere on the site. The interchange will open in 24.
Oh, that's
so,
going to be
right,
coming into here?
Correct. And then we'll also have a bridge that'll span Rock Run Creek, Rock Run Creek, and they'll span out, go east over to Humboldt, and then there'll also be the interchange that'll come onto the site from Route 59 and I-55.
Just go in between.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. Kind of stagger them, offset them, and then they'll, on the other side they'll do the north side as well. That'll put align it with this, and the center one is the offset one.
Unreal. So that's full of dirt right now, and he's
Correct.
bringing it
Yep.
back to
Yeah,
the
we'll plug that other hole. Exactly.
I'll be dang. How many
Yeah,
can
it's
you
a-
do a day?
About anywhere between 5 and 10.
Oh, okay.
I'll go interview Matt.
You want to talk to him?
Here you go, Jim.
All right, I'm here today again with Matt from Arbor Care, and he is here fertilizing, injecting, trying to help these trees that we just transplanted from about 300 yards away. Rick with InstaShade is the one that was relocating them. I just talked to Chris, gave you a little background on why we're doing this and why the development decided to relocate these trees instead of buying in new material. Matt, if you could just explain to us a little bit what you're doing and what you're trying to do to help these trees out in reestablishing them, promote root growth, and all that.
Yeah, so what we're doing the follow-through care. When you transplant a tree this size, you're talking about a root ball that's approximately 13,000 pounds. So you have a significant root system that has went into shock from going from the south side where they've grown for years now to the north side of the development. So we want to reestablish the roots, make sure they don't miss basically they don't miss a beat in transplant. So we're doing a mycorrhizae slash bionutrient fertilizer blend with our 14 micro and macro elements. And this is what we traditionally always use for transplanted trees to ensure that they survive the transplant just the way that they should.
Now, is there any, I would imagine you're probably watering them in?
Yeah, absolutely. The machine waters them in upon installation. And then, as you know, as of late, we've had plenty of water from Mother Nature. But with demand, with high temperatures and no rain, we'll definitely be involved with watering them for sure.
All right, with the material that's in the mycorrhizae, anything else that you're encouraging, any growth regulators or anything like that?
Not growth regulators. That's more paclobutrazole, so not at this time. But I have used that extensively. That's a great product for transplants. But this particular job here, we're more or less concerned about the mycorrhizae and the bionutrient fertilizer.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thank
Good
you
luck.
very much.
Thank you.
Sure.